Justin, the producer, got this.
Yo, y'all know what it is, y'all know what it ain't, and I'm back with something different. I know y'all weren't expecting this from me. I know y'all looking at Rico, a beat, an instrumental, but I'm not gonna have it playing throughout the whole video like a lot of other people do, which I do like. I like that style. Shout out my boy Justin, the producer. Look him up on Instagram, Justin, the producer, Chicago's greatest producer. He got it, man. He sent me a whole beat pack. Y'all heard his tag in the beginning. Make sure y'all shop on him. Show him some love for sure. But I've been sitting back just thinking to myself, how can I really connect with the people? You feel me? I've been doing this shit for a long time, y'all. Since 2020, I've been doing this. And along the way, we did ride-throughs, death sites, food, interviews, through live and in person, also doing block to blocks. But what I haven't done in a long time is a deep dive into something I'm really interested in. And that's my boy, P. Rico. If y'all have been living under a rock for the past 10 years or so, then y'all might not know Mr. Hang With Me. But if y'all do know Mr. Hang With Me, then y'all know he was pretty much up next for Brick Squad. After Lil JoJo, P. Rico was right up next. Right there, bro. He was right there from the break. It was over with. It was done for your boy. But right now, it did. On the outside looking in, I see things ain't happen that way. So right, what I'm finna do with y'all right now is take a deep dive and figure out what happened. Let's go. So honestly, P. Rico is the GD version of Lil Reese, and I'm not being funny. I'm not saying that due to them both getting shot. It's really just about how their career played out. The trajectory of their career kind of took the same paths. Besides, one had more success with having friends that's already established, and the other guy, not so much. I don't know why P. Rico ain't like linked up with Duck, and I don't want to say ride that wave, but you know, when Brick Squad was hot, it's kind of like Tukaville came in and they was clicked up, but I don't even know if it's even a Brick Squad anymore. So let's take a look at everything that happened. Let's do this rewind real quick. So let's go back to 2012. We can even go back to 2010, 2011, when I first heard Sosa. When I first heard Sosa, I didn't like it. Y'all not gonna believe me when I say this, but I was the type of guy that was listening to Kendrick Lamar, Nipsey Hussle, motherfucking ASAP Rocky, Drake. When he was on his mixtape Drake shit, Wayne, of course, and the list goes on and on of rappers who was kind of pushing that conscious boundary, and that's just off of what I grew up on. Listen to my parents listen to Mobb Deep, 50 Cent, T.I., Eminem, a lot of different shit like that. So I was still kind of trapped up in that genre, and I was reluctant to give Chief Keef a chance. I'm serious, bro. When Chief Keef first came out, I was real reluctant to give him a chance. Then boom, he took over. As soon as he took over, right, I kind of immediately felt nothing like it. Like I was like, this is something different. This whole Sosa wave from Chicago is finna just take off and it's never gonna be seen again. But with every yang, gotta come a yang. And the yang to Sosa's yang would be Brick Squad. Now let's remind you. I know y'all what y'all thinking about it. I'm not for 63rd and all that good shit. Before it was 63rd, 069 was the top op block. When 63rd took over, they literally picked up where Brick Squad left off, in my opinion. Because let's not act like Duck ain't been had the clout since that E-Days You Serious. But let's not also act like Lil JoJo wasn't one of the first GD rappers to blow. And in that inner circle that Lil JoJo had, he had a nice lineup of a starting three that go by the name of P. Rico and Lil Mister and Lil JoJo. Them three motherfuckers right there, I feel like could have took over the world if given enough time, or even just some more help from the industry sources. Now let's take another little rewind real quick. Since this is all about P. Rico, I'm not gonna focus too much on Chief Keef, but we gotta take a look at the Lil JoJo saga. So let's go back to when Lil JoJo, R.I.P. that young man as well, when he first broke off into the scene. You also got to think about how Duck did it. Duck came in, remixed that E-Day, and made that E-Days You Serious. You remember that? Y'all know how it is. Just look it up if you don't remember. And JoJo kind of did the same shit. You know, JoJo came in. It's like in that beginning of drill music, it's like niggas didn't have no problem remixing their op song because their goal was to diss him on this song and make it way better than something he ever did. And I don't want to say I'm gonna put it like this: that E-Day Is You Serious is a little more memorable than E-Day's version. Like I know E-Day went nuts on that song, but I kind of remember Duck's verse and being that black flow more than I remember the words that E-Day said on that song. But that's another topic for the story. Let's get back to Lil JoJo and this BDK. So when Lil JoJo came out and remixed Chief Keef Every Day, mind you, I'm a 17-year-old knucklehead walking around somewhere in Chicago, because I'm from out west, man, but we'd have been moved around so much. I think I was on 43rd in Francisco over there by Kelly High School. Woo. If y'all know anything about Kelly High School, y'all know that's a Latino community. They don't play no games over there, boy. I ain't even like coming outside, walking to the store, you feel me? But I still did what I had to do. But I'm saying this to say, I vividly remember. That's how important the drill culture is to certain people. Because when you can remember the time and the place where you heard some shit that changed your life, it's forever impactful to you. So I remember walking down the street, no headphones because I was broke as hell, playing that every day on my phone. Android. My auntie sent it to me from Vallejo, California. I was happy as fuck. I got my first touchscreen phone. And this is 2012. Now, fast forward a couple days later, mind you, I'm social starting to grow on me. Remember when I said I was really into like the other type of conscious rappers and different shit like that? I was pushing them boundaries. A$AP Rocky was really my favorite during that time. Kendrick Lamar was just breaking out. And so I was getting hip to him too. And then Chief Keef came out there, Understand Me. When Chief Keef dropped Understand Me, and he put Jeezy on that motherfucker, mind you, I told you I was listening to that type of music growing up, Gucci, Jeezy and shit. So when I heard Jeezy fucking with Sosa, it immediately persuaded me, and I had to go back and listen to everything else he had. But Understand Me was the song that Sosa got me to give up everything conscious. Like, he dumbed down my way of thinking to the point where I don't even listen to J. Cole. And J. Cole is raw as fuck. But the type of music I used to listen to, Chief Keef ruined that for me, man. I'm sorry. Wayne, Drake, y'all always be somewhere around the playlist, but Sosa got me listening to dumbed down lyrics. It's just how it go. Now, within that same week that I got put on to Chief Keef Understand Me, I heard some shit called BDK. Now, I clicked it because with me being from out west, I really never really met any BDs. I know it's the jungle and different shit like that. When I was the shorty like that, I didn't really care about all, like, I just didn't like care about, no disrespect to anybody. There's like no BDs. Those one of the immediate gangs that you have to worry about if you a gangbanger in Chicago on the west side. On the west side of Chicago. You don't really have to too many encounters with the BDs. So when I heard BDK, I'm like, damn, this look like it's gonna be disrespectful. Let me click it. Clicked it, bam. I thought Shorty was 12 years old walking around with big ass bazookas, folks, but he wasn't, man. He was an 18-year-old Shorty getting ready to take over. He was getting ready to take over, and unfortunately, if the story was correct, I seen somebody named Ebone Hoodrich on 16 Shot on platform said JoJo got into a fight at the cricket store. He got into a fight at the cricket store, was punched, and allegedly them guys that knocked Lil JoJo out spent on him. But that don't make sense, because if you already won the fight, why would you come and slide? Maybe because Shorty's gonna slide back. But at that time, even if that is what happened, Shorty's name was so hot, who knows who really pulled up and did that to Lil Bro. R.I.P. him. Well, kind of big bro, because he's 2 years older than me. So you feel me? But still, R.I.P. him either way. So when JoJo lost his life, that's when you seen people like Swag, De Niro kind of start coming out of the shadows. Lil J was already a prominent figure in the drill culture. The same with not Duck, yeah, but Lil J had it more. Billionaire Black and Lil J had it more for that whole FBG side of things. But we focusing on the Brick Squad of shit today. So when Lil JoJo lost his life, that left Lil Mister and P. Rico. Immediately, I'm trying to tell you, immediately, it's like them two wasted no time keeping Brick Squad name alive. No Lacking Homie was an instant hit. Hang With Me is forever a hit. I put Hang With Me and Wifer in the same category. Whenever you cut on I Can Never Wife Her, which is originally a Young Chop beat, do y'all homework. That was Chief Keef beat. That was out, I'm rolling. Bang, old block 300 nigga, we rollin'. That was Chief Keef beat before Spenzo got that shit. Maybe Chief Keef ain't want it. Him and Chop was falling out during that time, so Chop probably backdoored him for the beat. Remember, Sosa was like, hey, all my old producers. That's another story. We're gonna get into that another day. But, so they was just coming out the woodworks with that shit. And like I said, when he dropped that Hang With Me, once again, I think that's up there with Wifer. If you cut Hang With Me on in the club, maybe some gangbanging ass niggas not gonna rock with it, but for a fact, you gonna get the club jumping, man. Hang With Me is forever a classic. To the point where Sosa even remixed it. Now we get into the Rico Reckless. Oh, I'm sorry. Ooh, it's too many Ricos, man. You got a Rico talking about a Rico that just mentioned the wrong Rico. Let's calm down with these Rico names. If y'all don't look Puerto Rican or got some type of Hispanic in y'all blood, y'all should not be able to call yourself Rico. It should be illegal. Now, when he dropped that Hang With Me, Sosa remixed it. So much shit was going on when P. Rico dropped that Gladiator, Welcome to Puerto Rico mixtape. It was on and popping. I was so excited for the shit Shorty had, man, because I'm like, he holding it down for the Rico legacy. If I don't never make it, at least one Rico from Chicago got his foot through the door. And I started paying attention to what he had going on. I started doing my due diligence, just like when Sosa came out with certain songs and I had to backtrack to check out his catalog. I did the same for P. Rico. And I seen that he was a kind of a guy who wasn't going to take rap serious, which should have been the first red flag in his career. After he dropped Hang With Me and the Welcome to Puerto Rico mixtape, it was on and running for my boy. He got deals thrown at him. Deals. I'm talking about probably life-changing deals for that moment, not life-changing deals for the rest of your life. But if P. Rico was smart, he would have bet on himself. You see, a lot of NBA players do that with these 10-day contracts, with these minimum deals they taking, team-friendly contracts they signing. They betting on themselves so they can eventually get a better deal during the offseason. And P. Rico didn't bet on himself. He betted on Chief Keef. And when I say that, I mean that to say Sosa signed a $6 million deal, so P. Rico thought he deserved the same. Wow. You see how that's red flag number 2. How could you pretty much put a price on your work based off what somebody else got? It don't work like that, man. And that should have been the first sign to show you that sometimes people working, but is it like really hard work or is it just your minimum effort? So anyway, P. Rico got offered a $365,000 deal from Warner Brothers. I'm pretty sure the deal just didn't stop at $365,000. P. Rico wanted 6 M's like Sosa or more so he could shit. But obviously, if you see how both of their lives played out, I think Sosa, even though he's been unmotivated at times, I think he made the best out of his situation compared to if you would have gave somebody like P. Rico, who didn't really want to be a rapper at the time, $6 million, he would have just disappeared and never even thought about his future after that. So he based himself off Sosa getting a deal. He didn't want it. He turned it down. Waka Flocka claimed to scoop Shorty up. Waka Flocka tried to butter him up, gave him a feature. And this is also a little weird to me at this time because do y'all remember when Waka Flocka hopped on Sosa's song and gave him the first remix of his career? It was Bo Deal, Waka Flocka, and Chief Keef. I'll never forget. They came to Chief Keef's crib. He was on house arrest. They came to his crib and Waka Flocka went on Breakfast Club saying how he loved Chief Keef or Keef Chief, or he was saying his name wrong. And I thought it was on accident at first. Till fast forward to when he came to Chicago recently, and I'm not going to say no names, but somebody is proving that Waka Flocka had a little hatred towards Sosa, like a little jealousy. Cause he felt like Chief Keef ain't deserved to shine, and Sosa kind of picked up where he left off. And I promise you, it's verified from people I talked to who was in the same room with that man, and I don't have to name drop anybody. So him linking up with P. Rico wasn't weird because Waka Flocka has nothing to do with the Chicago beef. But he linked up with bro trying to ink a deal. If you know rappers not offering any life-changing money to sign another rapper. So I'm pretty sure Waka Flocka tried to hit my boy P. Rico with that 360 step, slide. Give everything you got type of contracts. And P. Rico was smart enough to turn that down. But after Waka Flocka, here come Yo Gotti. Now, if you remember Yo Gotti's roster back then, he had Zedzilla, Snooty Wild. He had a few people who you don't see on CMG today. So I'm pretty sure P. Rico wouldn't have been on CMG today either. But it was still worth banking on yourself. Don't know the amount of the money that Yo Gotti offered, but the CMG deal was on the table for P. Rico, and he turned it down. He didn't want it. And P. Rico turned down all these deals because he thought he was worth $1 million. Which, honestly, if he came out today, he would get $1 million. He would get $1 million. But back then, you had to sell physical CDs and different shit like that, which the label probably just didn't have that much hope or that much faith that P. Rico could do that. So he betted on himself and turned down every single deal. Now, in the midst of this, you kind of see his hype starting to slowly die down. You know what I mean? Before he started going to jail, getting shot, and getting jumped in gas stations, it's like he just slowly stopped putting out music. I remember Fly Ty, the cameraman for them dudes when they first blew up, said P. Rico went to go get a white t-shirt, said he'll be back. He disappeared for 8 hours. The video, they shot Lil JoJo verse or something like that. Or Lil Mister, I forgot who was on the song. They shot that verse when the sun was up. It was the reason P. Rico was shooting his shit outside in the nighttime because he was gone that long. That shows you right there that he was not focused on being a rapper at all. And that's where the Lil Reese comparisons come in, because both them guys rather play the block than play the game. And when you don't play the game, you're going to get benched. And unfortunately, getting benched in the music industry, it just means you'll never reach your full potential, no matter how much buzz you have behind your name. So he stopped just dropping music. He seemed unmotivated. Then I started seeing him in Zach TV interviews, man. He was the life of them motherfuckers. I remember seeing him in that bitch, and my boy said he lost the fight. He lost 2 fights in the county. If y'all remember, P. Rico got booked for gun possessions, gun charges. I don't think he did any time for the first one. I think he did a few months. But me right now, I'm on papers right now for my first gun charge with being a felon. So I'm pretty sure he got a slap on the wrist. But during that Zach TV interview, his dreads was long as fuck. He was also missing a tooth. So while he was speaking on losing 2 fights in jail, he was honest. He said he had 3 and he lost 2. That's when my respect for P. Rico grew uncontrollably. Regardless if you the biggest, baddest motherfucker in the world, we all capable of getting hands, feet, knuckles, and forehead put on us at any time, any place, any day. And the fact that he admitted that to our audience, who probably looked at him a little certain way after that, shows me that he doesn't care about his image, good or bad. He just really is real to himself. So him being authentic and genuine showed me that he got potential to make it. I think he ended up getting caught in a gas station that, a lot of outside people refer to as a BD gas station. And if you know anything about their neighborhoods, it's all intertwined with each other. So P. Rico living in the BD, GD / vice versa neighborhood, it's most likely you're going to run into somebody. So he ended up running into some people in the gas station. Nobody was there to witness the shit, but P. Rico said he was pistol whipped, and that's what happened to his front tooth. And honestly, the whole reason why I'm doing this video is because I seen P. Rico new song, All Blues. And P. Rico, man, please, gang, I'm gripping my microphone right now, bro, with my forehead on my computer. Please, gang, get it together. Please don't come out with no more shit like that. I love your energy. When P. Rico came out with First M's and all that shit he had in 2018, that's the style you should have stuck with. But let's get back on topic. So after the whole gas station incident, fights in jail, all those being close calls, like, you lost some fight, you lose some, you win some, but I like how they didn't kill P. Rico in that gas station. They just beat him and let him go about his way. I thought that he would have took that as an opportunity to focus more on rap because he still had a buzz, but it was like for 2 years he didn't drop a song, man. Bro just disappeared off the face of the earth, still doing Zach TV interviews, still popping up doing cameos with some Latino rappers from out south that he probably related to. Some of them look like Ken Yella. I don't know who these niggas is. I think it was a nigga named Oso Rico. Instead of really focusing on his main career, he was still playing that black box. Then, unfortunately, my boy P. Rico almost got his Peter Weeder shot off. Do y'all remember when he uploaded that picture? His cargos, y'all remember them cargo pants people used to wear? Right there in between his legs, he had a bullet hole because he was sagging so low. See, that's back in the days when sagging that low came in handy. For you sagging that day, nowadays that low in these tight ass Amiris, you gonna trip yourself up and fuck around, hang yourself on the shoelace. That's how tight your outfit be. But back then, Shorty had on them baggy ass Compton Crip steppers and shit. It went nothing but air in the motherfuckers, and it just went in and out his pants. He dropped the diss song immediately, and that song was raw as fuck. I forgot what it was called, man. If y'all could please comment in the comment section the name of that P. Rico song after his pants leg got shot. He went fucking crazy. And then he went to jail, man. Academics was really big on the Chicago wave at that time. He posted a picture of P. Rico over the stove with an AK. And whenever academics do a story on you, either a nigga gonna fall off, get locked up, or get shot. And guess what happened? Your boy P. Rico got locked the fuck up. I think he did a year and a half or 2 years. That's when he cut his iconic dreads to the fro that we seen him with for a long time before he grew the little dreads back. But while he was in there, I didn't hear nothing from my boy. I ain't hear nothing from P. Rico. I was hoping he kept the buzz alive. And when he came home with the haircut, guess what? He did. 2018, I was playing Rico heavy. He that live from the hood, nigga, live from the hood. Pull up in that Hellcat, the edges running good. Posted on my block, yeah, good. Yeah, I could go on all day humming some words that I don't remember. So I'm not gonna let y'all hear that. But seriously, P. Rico, me and my girl was playing that shit. That first end, what'd he say? Hop up in the car like he was snapping, my boy. He was snapping. I think Lil Yachty even welcomed him home. It was a big celebration for P. Rico, and guess what happened? The nigga fell back. Instead of coming out going crazy, he dropped some songs with Fly Tie. You to get that old Brick Squad feel, and he just stopped making music. I don't know what the fuck happened again. I don't know what happened, bro. My boy came back. You came back. You did M's on 3 songs that you dropped after being gone for almost 2 years, and you disappeared again. That's the inconsistency with that work ethic. That's why a $6 million deal for people like P. Rico, we're not going to say his name. Just use him as an example. But people like him with that type of mindset will never go far in life if you just consistent with being like just happy. If you're not trying to go above and beyond for your happiness and you just fine with being happy, then that's on you, man. So my boy fell back, and I don't want to call it a fall off, but at this time, after you was gone for some years, you got the buzz back up and you disappear on your own, now the buzz started to slowly die down. And unfortunately, when shit like that happen with a rapper, when you don't hear from him for a while, you either find out they dead or in jail. And for P. Rico, thank God he didn't die, but he almost did, man. He was at a liquor store, if I'm not mistaken. People came in, shot him twice in his chest, once in his arm. I know not his chest, I'm sorry. When I watched the video of him showing himself in a hospital bed, he had a bullet on each side of his rib. So I don't know if the bullet went in and out or he got shot on both sides of his ribs and his stomach, but you can most definitely go to YouTube and see a video of him laying in the bed with staples all on his stomach, man. He said out his own mouth that he had to pour liquor on his wound. He poured liquor on his wound, and he felt like that's what kept him alive. It stopped the bleeding. With him pouring liquor, he said he just grabbed a bottle of Fifth, he smoked the square, and poured that shit right in his bullet wounds, and the Chirac Vegeta was back like nothing ever happened, man. But thank God he was back with his life. But unfortunately, tragically, the man let his music career die. I'm still trying to figure out how. I broke down everything that I could really think of. I took some time to put down information and shit that I could gather of what possibly went wrong with P. Rico life, because now we're going to fast forward to 2023 where I clicked some shit that he just dropped. And this when the Lil Reese comparisons come back in. Because how the hell you been rapping for 10 plus years, my boy, and you still sound like you did back then, my boy? Like P. Rico, bro, I really got faith and hope for you. I know you could do this, folks. I know you got it, bro. Like look at me, gang. Like, look at me right now, folks. Look at the phone. Stop playing with yourself, P. Rico, folks. Get in that booth. Get a fucking pen and some paper, man, and write some shit down. Write another hang with me, bro. You got it in you, man. I feel like when these rappers get so much clout and success, they think they're a living legend, and that's it. You have more to accomplish, P. Rico. Ain't no way in hell I should hear you getting on the song, not even really rhyming. Like, come on, man. You got this shit, P. Rico. I know you got this, man. And that's why I don't want to end this with some saying he fell off. I'm going to say he fell back. And that's what happened to P. Rico.